How's it going? And welcome back to another episode of FUD TV. I'm your host, Elio Trades, and today we're going to be talking about something that is certainly first and foremost on many people's minds, which is what is happening with China and their ban on cryptocurrencies. We're also going to talk briefly about India banning cryptocurrencies, what the FUD is going on, and how does this impact the crypto market. We're going to get to all that and more right after this. China is not banning cryptocurrencies, and we need to be clear about that. China has not banned cryptocurrencies. They are simply going to control it, right? China is seeing that the crypto market and crypto trading has become so volatile and has become so popular in China that they are looking to now crack down on the trading and sort of control and regulate, but there has been no speak of banning cryptocurrencies. Chinese are still allowed to own, possess. They're just not allowed to trade in the traditional sort of centralized exchange manner that they have been. And this is also, you have to take with a grain of salt because China knows how influential they are in the crypto market. They understand how much their own government has benefited from blockchain technology and crypto. We're going to go over all that and a little bit more. This is a phenomenal article by Wei Chen-Shu, and I suggest you read it here. I'm going to link it in the video, link it below this video, but essentially it says, fear not, this is from today. China is not banning cryptocurrency. And there's just so much innovation coming out of China right now in the blockchain space that it would be almost silly, it would be almost unthinkable that their government would want to stifle this, which is really China has been a great example of a government really encouraging innovation to come within their government, to come from within their society, and has always done well to sort of to try to control and become the leader in various technological spaces, as you're seeing with clean energy, as you're seeing with manufacturing over the last 4 decades. China has just been the monster, the 800-pound gorilla in the corner that is dominating the space. And now we're seeing them become a leader in clean energy and other things. Why would we not see them embrace what is a clear lead on the blockchain world that they have? I'm gonna scroll down just so you see here. China has been trying to regulate and crack down and get their hands on a sense of how to control this cryptocurrency explosion since 2013. So this is nothing new. And they are not banning cryptocurrencies. These are the few things I want to play out here. So since 2011, China has played a crucial role. I've highlighted a few things for you guys. A crucial role in the meteoric rise and fall of Bitcoin. At its peak, China accounted for over 95% of the global trading volume and 3/4 of the mining operations. With regulators stepping in to control trading and mining operations, China's dominance has shrunk significantly in the exchange for stability. So while China was once almost the entirety of the cryptocurrency and blockchain market, they are now falling, not because blockchain is falling apart or whatever, but because the government is trying to make sure that this doesn't get out of control. So yes, China is trying to regulate. No, China is not banning cryptocurrency. So even during the ban, by the way, the first ban from China came in September when they decided to ban ICOs. And that was a huge dent, a huge hit to the gut for the crypto community. Lots of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, as we are going to cover all about that FUD here on FUD TV. And this is no different, right? This is another attempt by the Chinese government to really dampen the market just a little bit so they can put some rules in effect that in their mind are there to protect their own citizens, right? They're trying to protect Chinese citizens from investing in things and losing all their money on projects that don't have value. But that is not to say that one of the biggest, most profound blockchain projects in all the world, Neo, and many projects that are built on it, started in China and are blossoming within the Chinese community. So if you've been to any meetups, it says here, the Chinese community are in surprisingly good spirits. Sorry, I zoomed in a little bit too much. But they're in surprisingly good spirits despite these crackdowns, because there's been a ton of events and there's been a blossoming between Qtum, Neo, VeChain, High Performance Blockchain, Nebulous, the Google for blockchain, and it just goes on and on and on. Alibaba is entertaining using blockchain technology to help move around and track its supply chain. They're using Walton Chain for RFID track. There's so many projects coming out of China that it's almost unthinkable to think that the government would want to stifle what is clearly both an economic boon as well as a way to become a leader in the next era of technological development. So here we saw in China's last 5-year plan, which stretches until 2020, it called for the development in technological areas including blockchain, specifically in artificial intelligence, specifically And it also has plans to strengthen fintech, right? This is all about, and cloud computing, big data. This is all part of the blockchain movement. In fact, many of the projects, Deep Brain Chain, Neo, Tron, all these projects are rooted in China, have a strong backing in China, and are doing exactly what we're hoping this 5-year plan is setting out to do, as according to the Chinese government. So, they have all these programs that the Chinese government is doing, including the launch of the Trusted Blockchain Open Lab, as well as the Chinese Blockchain Technology and Industry Development Forum by the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology, right? So we know that the Chinese government understands what blockchain is, where it's going, the implications of the technology, and this is, you can read this as them trying to get a lid on this whole new market as it expands and try to dictate the rules in which their citizens can interact with it. But does that mean that they are throwing a blanket on this whole blockchain development and trying to stamp out the fire? No, I don't read that. I don't see that here. And the fact that there's no ban on coming for the possession of Chinese citizens to own cryptocurrencies is critical here. And the view of China as really a hub of innovation for cryptocurrencies, it's always going to be scary when they put out news like this. But as far as we know, it is now still legal for Chinese citizens to hold cryptocurrencies. They're just simply not allowed to carry out transactions, hence the ban on exchanges. So, look, this is what this is all about. This is another stepping stone, a hiccup. The government's trying to come in and regulate, trying to get a hold on things. But that doesn't mean that 1 billion people in China who have created the fervent environment around cryptocurrency are simply going to exit the market. And by the way, there are ways to get around firewalls. I'm not advocating that you do that or that you break any local laws. We simply would never advocate for that. However, it's worth considering that China has a history of regulating. The Chinese people have a history of overcoming and blossoming despite those regulations. And I think that this particular piece of news will be no different. Obviously, we had the news that the Indian government has decided to implement a ban of cryptocurrency as well. Again, I'm saying the exact same thing. This is just another opinion that I wanted to bring you guys to your perspective here to help enrich your perspective and let you know that there is a larger, longer chain of events here that have led us to where we're at, and that a total ban on cryptocurrencies is not an accurate way to describe what's going on. It's simply a regulatory it's a regulatory initiative that they're trying to put forth here, and it's going to have the effect of putting a temporary dampening effect on the market, but that does not mean that Chinese people are out. In fact, we've seen Chinese people, despite the bans on local trading, so there was already a ban on cryptocurrency exchanges within China. Now they're just simply extending their Great Firewall, the Great Firewall of China, to block foreign cryptocurrency trading sites such as Binance or KuCoin or other sort of Hong Kong or similar closely connected to Chinese exchanges. So we're going to see definitely some fallout from this, but is this the end of China's participation in cryptocurrency? You got to be crazy to think that. Thanks again for tuning in. This has been another episode of FUD TV. I'm your host, Elio Trades. If you liked or benefited from this video, we'd really appreciate a like or a comment below. And if you want up-to-the-minute updates for crypto news and market trends and data analysis, we'd really appreciate if you gave us a subscription. That way you'll get notified immediately when our videos come out, and you'll be able to benefit from it as soon as possible, as many things in the cryptocurrency space are time sensitive. Thanks again, and we'll catch you on the next episode of FUD TV. Elio Trades out.